Welcome, traveler. It's a little chilly out tonight. Come have a seat, warm up. I'm Dragon Bear. I hail from the mountains of the Dragon and the Cape of the Bear. I live in these lands, at least for the moment. To some, I'm a hero. To others, I'm a monster. Yes, this grove is a beautiful place. It's peaceful right now, but it hasn't always been. Obsidian Grove? What was once just a small village, now something much more. Let me tell you a tale of where the roots of our tree come from. Many generations ago, in a valley not too far from where we are now, in the kingdom, the Valley of Silver Rains, there was a bustling village on the border named Black Sun, with a quaint bridge over a stream, rolling fields, and a large lodge where the villagers would put on large feasts for travelers and bards alike. Children could often be heard in the streets, playing and laughing and screaming. They felt safe. But not long did this small village remain out of the raging conflict going on around it. Between Valley of Silver Rains and the Kingdom of Mystic Seas, the crops became trampled time and again. Try as you may, the village was ultimately destroyed, as a few of us survivors found shelter in neighboring lands for a small time. After a generation, we decided to rebuild our rightful home in the valley once again, though the travel did good for our minds, seeing the many wells used by other small villages and learning about the abundant resources of aquifers beneath our feet. We erected a large well where our meeting lodges once stood, and dubbed thusly the New Shire. The deep water glen, though there was a time of prosperity, the fighting fell upon us once more. So instead of the farmers their fathers told that were here, the invaders were met with skilled foe, massive barbarians with green in hand and axes on hip, warriors in full armor and honed blades, graceful elves who radiated the powers of healing and harm both, and a young monk who understood that peace sometimes must be protected with violence. Fields of deep water ran red once again, and when the final battle horns of war between Mystic Sea and the Valley of Silver Rain subsided, we were there, though many of us had fallen throughout the conflict. As we wearily wandered back to our now broken home, many of us understood that we could never truly go back to what we had before. But future generations and the now united Kingdom of Blackspire may have the chance to grow their crops and harvest, but we must keep our blades sharp to ensure our people are not lost. And so now, the new kingdom, the village changed the name of Deepwater Gorge, and for a count of generations, the gorge flourished. However, one day, good things came to an end once again. Many of the village left to experience a world outside this quiet valley. And now the silent sounds of battle had left a deafening quiet. And so one by one and two by two the barbarian herd traveled. The elves went back to the east, to their groves of green, and the gorge fell silent for a time. Years went by before a traveling bard came across the old well and lodges. He had heard the stories of this place, but to see with his own eyes was something else entirely. He found two wandering warriors passing by, one new, with armor not yet marred, and one seasoned to the point of deadly grace in all he did. The young bard began rebuilding the village once more, keeping the name similar, in hopes that those who lived here would return once again. And to his surprise, a young monk walked across the fields, drawn home by some strange calling. However, the flag of Deepwater Gorge would fall once again. A group of rock-throwing creatures had taken residence in the hills above the glen, and they multiplied quickly, constantly throwing discs fashioned from materials of some faraway place. They began to invade into the fields. This time, no armies came to their aid, and with this, we were forced to flee our homes for the last time. For a short time, we were a caravan, not staying in one place for too long, constantly heading east. For some of us remember tales of our kin living in the tallest trees. As we found the hollow at the mouth of the forest, the name was decided, Deepwater Grove, so that we may remember who we were, but not take away from our identity and where we were then. As we explored the forests, meeting and learning with local peoples, the Fae, the spirits, and the barbarian hordes that worshipped the great white tree, and their tongue, Gargathanoon, Deepwater Grove flourished once again and became deeply rooted in the culture of the local peoples, and for a time, things were peaceful. Though the drums of war thundered once again, this time with the rich forest being the northernmost border of Blackspire, with the now rising power of Northern Lights, a principality at this time. The barbarian hordes answered the call of the drums, shouting the name of their holy tree as he charged, blinded with rage in the battle. During this time, a dark god rose from the shadows of the forest. Corruption spread through the elementals who guarded the relics of power. The goblin races under the grove began to grow, unsettled and much more violent, and as the forces of the grove were divided, the child of the word struck, poisoning the well springs and shattering the ancient relics of power that protected this. I remember it all. I am a monster. Sleep well, human.